Ponemos de pie, por favor, para dar la inauguración de este evento. Y siendo las 12:25 del 9 de septiembre de 2025, damos con el inicio de GIS Latam 2025. Mucho éxito para todos. Y bueno, para quienes nos estén viendo en otros lados, no se espanten, vamos a hacer el Welum, es tradicional aquí dentro del Politécnico, y bueno, es una muestra del júbilo que tiene su comunidad politécnica ante estos eventos. Vamos a hacer el Welum para el Politécnico, por favor, a las cuentas de 3. 1, 2, 3. Welum, Welum, gloria a la cachi cachi porra, la cachi cachi porra. Pim pom porra, Politécnico, Politécnico, gloria. Mucho éxito.
Thank you very much, Professor Ivan. And now we have to start with the program. We have the first keynote. I don't know if Doctora Carolina is here.
Yes.
Yes. Please, Val,
yeah.
If you.
Thank you very much. You can sit now. Yeah, we are going to start with our first short talk. Our speaker at GIS Latam is Dr. María Carolina Quintana Noriega. She holds a PhD in architecture and urbanism and has taught leading Mexican universities. Her research focuses on territorial analysis and sustainable urban futures. Today, she will present Education, Artificial Intelligence, and Geotechnologies, Interdisciplinary Mapping, and Spatial Perception for undergraduate students. Let us all give her a warm round of applause.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I barely made it. I come from Tec de Monterrey, but the Mexico City campus that it's way in the south of the city, and I thought I was not gonna make it, but I did actually make it. I finished class at 11, so I crossed the whole city in an hour and a half. So yeah, Mexico City.
Just give me a minute.
Give us a minute until we have it ready. we already have it here. We're just downloading it to and ooh. Change it here. If not, I can click on the. Okay. Gracias. Okay, so sorry about that, about the delay. As you have heard already, the title is a little long, but the idea, the idea in which or for which I was invited to talk with you today, is to show you a current research that I'm working with. Well, actually, it's been going like for 2 or 3 years. A part of it, another part of it has been going on like about 5 years already. So, but the main topic here is not only this research that we are working on, but the how we are working with students to show them how to use and implement GIS software. Okay, see. So I'm going to start by showing you the epistemological framework and the theoretical framework that we are working on, or with which I'm working on, and this all started when thinking about how we interact with urban spaces and how a single we lost it. How a single expression in public spaces may influence or may show the identity that a place has, no? And this is called placemaking. No, I think most of us might know that, what a placemaking is. And we were wondering, and this started happening when we were in the pandemics, because before the pandemics, you might remember, there were like a lot of movements, and there was like almost another world order, and we were having, for example, a very important Me Too movement. We were having a very important feminist movement. This part of the third wave of feminism, and we were asking ourselves, so. The pandemics, when the pandemic hit, everything like stopped, and there was this evolution and all the changes that happened, and we all lived them. So, we were asking ourselves, how are these cultural expressions, or how have they changed, and are they still helping to make place to create this identity, to create this appropriation of space? So a little background that I think most of us also know is, for example, Jane Jacobs and The Death and Life of Great American Cities, that she already knew, back in the 60s, that cities were only alive when people used them, and when people walk them and use the parks and all the public spaces, no? And if places were left empty, most likely they were like abandoned, and they were felt unsafe, and the placemaking wasn't actually happening. I mean, people didn't felt identify with them. No. So more recently, there's this other. Move this chair a little here. Almost. Okay, so, and there's this other, it's actually a book, and I quoted recently, because it's from 2003, so, as I was telling you, back in the 60s, and then almost 22 years ago, and Jordi Borja and Saida Mushi, we're talking about how public space helped to create this citizen citizenship. So, we were, and when I say we, I'm talking about me and another research that works with me at Tec de Monterrey. And we were talking first of these important movements that we saw happening right before the pandemic. No? So the Me Too movement, all this intersectional feminism, no, that was actually very high before the pandemic. No, like in 2019, 2018. It started in 2017. No, actually. And so we invited. There was next to the working together with this feminist with this feminist movement. There were a lot of cultural expressions and moral paintings on street art, and so we started looking at that. We found this expression. It's from a Brazilian artist called Amanda Lobos. Well, her alias with for the social networks is Mais de Lobo, and so next one, please. So we organized. So I'm giving you a little background of how where we started, and so we invited her. We invited also Georgina Sebey. No, she's also a PhD. She's kind of an historian, architectural historian, like an important researcher. And we invited also Fernanda Prado. She's also Brazilian, so we invited 2 Brazilians. And we had this discussion. Well, it's not a table, but it's discussion forum. And the 3 of them, they had very different topics. Georgina was talking about architecture and how we can create memories from architecture and how our memories may change our perception of space. And then Amanda Lobos was talking a lot about her black heritage and how she being a woman in a world kind of dominated by men. Speaking about paintings and moral drawings and so on. And then Fernanda Prado, she studies exile and identity and how people that are not from one place in particular, they start creating this identity and helping or creating this kind of cultural expressions. So yeah, we had this panel back at Tec de Monterrey. Yeah, next. I don't know if I'm already late, right? We were asking ourselves, can we show that on a map? Can we actually make visible all this intangible environment, cultural environment? And so I found this book, and it looks almost like if it were a tourist guide book, and it isn't. And it's called you're here in New York City, mapping the soul of the city, and exactly this part of mapping the soul of the city. It's what attracted me. And looking at the book, I started noticing that, yes, most of us relate to something in particular in each of our boroughs. It might be, I don't know, a store. It might be, I don't know, a street art, a lamppost, whatever. But we start relating to those. And we start giving names and concepts to those boroughs. So that was more of like our hypothesis, our working thesis. If boroughs not only have identities, but specific territorial role orientations. We call them in Spanish vocación. It doesn't sound, or it doesn't mean the same in English, not the same vocation, but territorial role orientations. I think it covers it quite well. And we wanted to see if we could actually geostatistically visualize them and to find some patterns to see if they match with the boroughs, or if a borough might be smaller or bigger, no? So, yeah, please. Okay. So, this was our line of thinking, no? We knew, or we kind of observed that placemaking could have a functional logic, no, for appropriation. We ask ourselves if these cultural and artistic expressions could work as a place-making tool, in particular in Latin American urban environments. And we were most certain that we could find some patterns with different cultural expressions. And so what you are looking at here, for example, is that it's a borough in Marseille, France. It's called Le Quartier du Panier, and that borough, it started to be like a very bohemian borough, like a bohemian neighborhood, and it started to be like an off the city borough with immigrants and so on. Then it started to change like a little bohemian, and now it has a lot of street art. Most of its walls are covered with very different types of paintings. And now, as a tourist, you even go to that borough for just to see the paintings. So the borough has became the identity that it was trying to express. Our goals, our aims were these. No? We were trying to identify, understand, develop. So first of all, that identity, recognition, and symbolic appropriation of space. The impact on developing this citizenship, no? like the idea of citizenship, and to integrate these creative and interdisciplinary experiences combined with maybe poetry, graphic design, everything that can be put together with art and cultural. But we also wanted to expand this to our students, and so we wanted to design or to develop some didactic actions to see if our students could help us understand the territory and help them to create like a methodology, to read the space. So. This is the pilot testing that we did. We did it also in La Competencia, in the high school in CCH Escaposalco, because we for this part of the we lost it. For this part of the research, or for this part of the project, we were working together with some teachers from CCH Escaposalco, and we showed them two different tools. We showed them this chat map and UMap. Both are projects from Humanitarian OpenStreetMap's team. And so let's remember these are high school students. They might go from maybe 14, 15 years, no, until 18, maybe 19, no, not that much, but 18. So they are very young students. They are very young people. And so, but when we are young, we are very creative. We want to show our art, and we're not scared of showing it. So. We started one. That was not my part. That was the part of all the other teachers. They work with them to create poems, to create drawings, to create stencils, all the things you see there. And we wanted to try to map those expressions. So we showed them these two open source tools, and the idea was if we could. First of all, map with students these expressions, and then to see if there was a pattern. So yeah. So if you have your cell phone, you can actually read that QR code, and you won't see exactly the same image. That image is made with a GIS software, but it was very interesting that first of all we actually achieved making that with students. That one there is made with UMap, and so every student could actually download what they were doing and could upload it back to the UMap platform, and they could work with the different variables to show different stuff. And the one you can see looks very much like this one, and it started to be very interesting because. Every campus is very big, but as you can see, there was very specific spots where the art was concentrated, and it was not it was not on like on the outskirts. It was most on the center, and the management facilities of CCH are this one. So it's very near those facilities. I think it's this one. And this is almost like the central square. So it helped us see that actually students start to identify some places as their own, and some not that many. Not like all the sport part. So that's why we always win at American football, because I studied at the Polytechnic too. So that's why I say we always do that. And so next one. And so it was like a very good result. Sorry that I'm going that too fast, maybe. But I wanted to show you this other part, because after this pilot testing, we took some of our students now from the Bachelor in Architecture. We took them to San Cristobal de las Casas in Chiapas. We have been working with a community in San Cristobal de las Casas for 5 years. So this is just like a context of San Cristobal. Let me go a little further. So just this is important. So this is the basin of San Cristobal de las Casas, and back like 400 years ago, back when the first establishment of population started, they started like establishing their communities near the protected areas for like with mountains and so on. And so you can see the downtown, or the central part of San Cristobal is that one. It's near some of mountains. So now, next one, please. And it was a very Catholic community, but in San Cristobal de las Casas, which is in Chiapas, and they have a lot of ethnographic population, and so the central boroughs were mostly Catholics, and the outskirts were indigenous populations. And this has been the pattern. Like every time the population, the Catholic population grows, they start pushing the indigenous population to the outskirts. So next one. And we wanted to see if the cultural expressions helped us see if there was like a correlation between those historical conditions. So we gave our students a little bit of graphic theory, like the types of urban art that you can find in a city, more or less in graffiti, stencil, stickers, street poster. And yeah, so we were wondering if it was going to be more political, if it was going to be more religious. And so we found this, for example, street posters and stencils. Stencils and street posters are related to maybe to a more touristic, like a more high socioeconomical level of art. I don't know if that's the best way to say it. And maybe graffiti is more down to earth, more to a more populated concept of art. So we saw this one was actually in the main center, the main downtown, where all the touristic activities were happening, and graffiti started like go to the outskirts. Now even here, and we also checked the next one, please. And we also checked the different topics. So religious topics, and this is something that happens in San Cristobal. So these represent the most Catholic churches. And this is in the outskirts of San Cristobal. We have a lot of Protestants and other religions like Muslims. And so that was actually showing also in the street art that you could find. And the feminist topics, they started to be found only here in downtown, while more political, so leaving that feminist part as political and just looking at other political, they were like out of the downtown of San Cristobal. And this was made by our students. So you might be asking yourselves, where's the artificial intelligence part? We used Google Colab for that. And we showed them that they could very easily just ask. So this is what I did, no? But we showed them that it was very easy for them to ask Google Colab, like, please give me a code to differentiate or to show all the political, religious, cultural equipment arts. And then next one, please. And then we showed them they could not only create a code or create coding, they could also ask some task procedures. and they could also create a map. So it was amazing because we were working with maybe first or second semester students, and they started like working with geospatial or geostatistical software and data. And the last one, so just my final thoughts is that first of all, we can actually see different cultural, different identities by looking at the art expressions. And well, the other thing is that everyone here with us or can actually start working on maps, and it's like a very down-to-earth technology, which is part of this event, no? Like trying to show that it's not this very high-end technology, that everyone can do it. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your presentation. We have time for some questions. Someone have a question?
Yes. I didn't understand very well how...
Sorry.
Yes. Hi. My name is Alberto, and I didn't understand very well how would you introduce AI into this project. Was the final part, but I didn't understand very well.
Yeah, sorry, I was a little too fast there. So once they had the data, no, that they started pulling from their visit, all of that was incorporated into it wasn't a shapefile, it was actually a GeoJSON file, and just with Google Colab you can upload that file and ask it's Gemini, the AI that's working with Google Colab. So you can just ask Gemini, please can you use this file that I'm uploading, and can you start checking on, well, you need to tell them, can you check on this column and separate or differentiate the different concepts, no, like political and economical. And actually I was surprised because the AI did a little bit more than what I was expecting. No, I just asked the AI to find political, cultural, and religious, I think, and it gave me back. I don't know, like I don't remember right now which, but it gave me back like three or four more concepts. So that's how it works, no? And you can, well, that was coding with Python, but my students didn't know anything about Python, no? So they just saw the code and they just click on run and everything happened. No, and you ask the AI to save the information into a file, and that's it. No, they could actually use the file. And then the other was the like a task manager. Now that you ask, so now that you've done this, can you please do this, and the AI does it for you.
Thank you very much.
Hi. Well, I have a question from your perspective. How you can describe all this work or the placemaking, as you mentioned, through all this, let's say, nowadays context. And I want to know if the artificial intelligence is really like giving you the real data, for example, because like they give you, but if it's in the, let's say in Mexico City or in the particular case in San Cristobal, if it's like representing all the, let's say, cultural arts or expressions from the people, like if it's not, let's say, like lying to you, how you can prove that?
Yes, like how to lie with maps, no?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, look, these cultural expressions, they are always changing, and that's the first thing that we actually want to work with, no? Like, let's see if something changed back from no, before the pandemics. And for example, we went to San Cristobal just after the 9th of March demonstration, and so there were a lot of graffitis for feminist expressions, but also many buildings were already covering them up, no? Like very fast, like to maybe some hours or just the next day, no? So so the idea is that if you just go once and you will only find like a photograph of that moment, no? The idea is to take this like into a longer period of time, and we've done this 3 times. Well, we've been going with students 3 years in a row. I just showed you the ones from 1 year, but if we start looking at the different time periods, you start seeing the same patterns. No, so you start. It's this big data concept. No, you need to have a lot of data to actually start seeing a pattern. No, but with the little data that just one group of students. Well, it wasn't that small. They were like 70, 80 students. So it wasn't that small. But you could actually see patterns. So. But yeah, it's very interesting because it can change maybe with another pandemic or with another political regime or whatever, no?
Thank you very much for your talk. So I found very interesting your comment that you said, so the classification was done by Gemini of the data. So, and I wonder if you used that information to discuss the results with the students, or maybe even ask like one group to verify it and the other one to come up with something more manually, so like in the group discussion. So I wonder if these groups made sense for you and maybe also for the students, or maybe not.
And the thing is that we've been learning from these experiences. For example, the indications or the direction that we gave our students, they were like they had to make like a key or our key with numbers and letters to identify what we thought they were gonna find. But obviously they started finding things that we were not expecting. And so we just had like a huge list of non-expected codings or codes or keys. So yes, I think that's where the AI came to work. No, that okay. So please help me identify the different the different concepts. And yes, maybe 2 or 3 were very very unexpected. No, like so we should be looking at this or that. No, so yeah, maybe we do this every year. So next year on March next year, we're certainly going to look at what we had of data. No, so yeah, it's fun.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I found it very fascinating and creative, and your angle of this cultural science very interesting. And also, I've just been to New Zealand, and I heard that in New Zealand, that island, both islands, only the Maoris are allowed to paint on the wall. So this is really interesting, and I also cultural related, and I wonder, maybe have you further thought the result of your research, your maps, how can they make a change to improve the urban structure or improve the how can they give advice to better civil lives?
Yeah. So the starting of this the genesis of this project was we're looking at a very specific population in the northern peripheries of San Cristóbal de las Casas that are from indigenous origin, but they first they were Protestants, but they converted into Muslims, and what we've seen is that. So in that part of the city, they start using the paintings to start establishing a territory. So you can see writings on the walls with biblical numbers and phrases, and so you start to notice that okay, so this borough is more of a Protestant religion, and then you can start where you don't see those paintings. You see, okay, so maybe that is the more Muslim boroughs, no? And then there's a borough that has these aliens stickers. So that part of the city is very touristic, but it's not in the downtown. So it's starting to attract tourism, and for example, there's a lot of Italian population that came there. No, so yeah.
In China also there's a lot of beautiful painting on the wall and can attract tourists. That's very interesting. Yes, and can also maybe in future it's kind of a cultural signature, or maybe in some specific cultural place, maybe it's kind of can dig more deeper about isolation and the divergence of different culture and the conflicts between cultures. Kind of interesting. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you so much. We don't have time for more questions. Give her a big round of applause. Thank you so much,
very
Doctor. Now,
on behalf of the organization, we have here a little recognition for this talk.
Thank you.
We enjoyed it a lot. So,
Great.
and a little present from also the organization.
Ooh, great. Thank you very much.
I want to take a picture, a little. Yeah, another round of applause for her. Thanks.
Thank you.
thank you so much.